wackiest setup. We're going to call this the selfie stick and the 2 towel setup. Hilarious. Let's see if it falls. That'll be even better. This is what you do when you're too cheap to go and get a suction cup mount. Blah, blah, blah. Acceleration test. Let's see if the camera falls. And away we go. Are you going to fall? Are you going to stay there? Are you going to fall? What? I think it worked. Didn't even move. I think it worked. Welcome, VL Reviews fans, to another vehicle review. And this time it's going to be a more formalized review of our temporary on loan Mazda CX-50 in white. And I'm going to call it the car with hips, because we're used to regular CX-5s of all different types of colors. And it's certainly a more conservative look, but the CX-50 is pretty wild. So I am sitting here with my wife, and we're going out. There she is. We're going out, get something to eat. I think we're going to go to Bibimbap, if you're familiar with that place, a Korean place. And on the way, I'm going to talk a little bit about the CX-5. Now, let's see. I think, let's see, this is what I put here. What is it? We got, oh geez, I guess we've done a little over 500 miles on this as a loaner. This is loaner number 3, because we're waiting for her 2024 blue CX-5 preferred to get a new transmission. They've received the new transmission. They're installing the new transmission. Hopefully it's successful. This is transmission number 2. So let's, hope it works this time, because if it doesn't, we're going to have to explore other options. So I've been driving this thing quite a bit, a few hundred miles here and there, some long trips, some short trips. And I've got some definite impressions. The big takeaways, the differences between the CX-5 and this CX-50. 2 big differences. One is the outer body style, obviously. I think both her and myself both like the CX-50 exterior body panels. I think we like them better than the 5.
I definitely agree. I love the body style to this vehicle.
Yep, looks good. A downside is that the ride is very, very stiff. If you prefer a super tight sports car type of handling, we're talking very little body roll, very little dive and squat, and extremely tight suspension where you can feel the granularity of the tarmac through the steering wheel. To exaggerate, you can feel like a gum wrapper with this thing. It's insane. But if you like that, if that's what you want, this is the vehicle for you. This is the compact SUV for you. The handling is phenomenal. But in that, I think for the type of car this purports to be, a compact SUV people hauler, that I was told by the dealer is supposed to replace a Jeep. In other words, if you were interested in a Jeep, you should consider a CX-50, that kind of thing, which I don't quite understand. Jeep owners, let me know in the comment section below. I don't know why you would want a suspension that would be this tight. I'm confused when I drive this car. If I ever get a chance to have a little fun with it, I really enjoy it. It's fantastic. But when you're just kind of doing the grocery getter thing, and you're maybe hauling around your family and you just want like a smooth, relaxed, quiet ride, this isn't the CX-5. The CX-5, it's Jekyll and Hyde. The CX-5 is very, very different. And speaking of that, the brakes. Oh, the brakes. So wife and I love the brakes. They are like European style brakes. They are super tight. You barely have to touch them and you get braking response. Now, I've been in cars where some of the brakes are far too sensitive. The slightest touch, it practically puts you through the windshield. Okay, this isn't that, but it's kind of close. However, it gives you tremendous feeling of security when you're driving this vehicle with its brakes. Now, the CX-5, if you've watched any of my other CX-5 videos, one of the typical complaints that I've had myself personally is the CX-5, sometimes you get brakes and they have air in them. They can take the air out and then the brakes tighten up nicely, they seat nicely, and they work okay. They're just more relaxed. But if you don't do that, the pedal can be extremely sloppy, very sloppy. We're talking near pedal to the floor. In fact, I think her 2024, if I'm remembering right, from, no, it was your 21. It was your blue 2021. Brand new, okay, back in 2021. Her brakes literally went to the floor, and it was bad. And I had to argue with the dealer and say, look, this has air in the lines. Brand new vehicle. I don't know if it had 4 or 6 miles on it or something, and they just didn't get the air out of the lines. As soon as they got the air out of the lines, then she felt safe in it. I felt safe buying it for her, so she could drive it and feel safe. The CX-50 has monster brakes. I mean, it's incredible. Whatever they did, you'll probably love the brakes. So I guess it's just very confusing to me to have two vehicles that are very similar in purpose, so I would think, but they drive Jekyll and Hyde. So if you want, just to sum up, if you want to have a vehicle that literally feels like it's a 4-door small sports car with a very hard ride, great suspension, fantastic for cornering, fantastic for driving at high speeds. You got those undulations in the road, and this won't go bouncy, okay? There's no bouncy in this. Then a CX-50 is what you want to lean towards. But I said it before and I'll say it again, I don't understand why. Why do you want to have a compact SUV people hauler handle like that? So you tell me how nuts I am in the comment section below, and how much that you, especially CX-50 owners, you want that type of ride. Because I prefer to be sure the CX-5, and remember, I can bounce back and forth between them. So I can drive this for a while, and then I can go to my red CX-5, which I have, and I kind of get into it and go, And yes, the brakes are a little more cushy. The seats definitely are cushy. Everything about it is just more relaxed. But the CX-50, when you get in it, it's very, very tight. It feels like it's ready to really go somewhere and do something serious. So you let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if I get lucky enough, maybe I can swap seats with the other half over there, and then she can blab about what she thinks of the CX-50. Because when it's time for her to turn in her lease, maybe she'll want one of these. But I don't think I want one of these. I think I'll stick with the 5, but she may decide that she wants a 50. Something else I actually want to mention. When we did a test drive in January of 24, checking out whether or not she wanted a 50 or a 5, we drove a 50 that had the moonroof and had the roof rack rails. And one thing we noticed was, even at low speeds, 35, 45 miles an hour, the noise intrusion on the test drive 50 that had very low miles on it, maybe 4, 6, something like that, was unbelievably loud. In fact, with making sure all the windows were closed and the moonroof was closed, there was just this huge rush and buffeting of air up there. Now, this CX-50 that we have does not have a moonroof at all, can't leak, and doesn't have any roof racks, so no wind buffeting. And I can say that the noise level in this 50, which is a lower line than what we're normally used to, is pretty reasonable. It's actually okay. But when you start increasing your accoutrements, the extras in your 50, I guess be careful, because you may end up with a combination of items that might not suit your fancy all that much, especially when it comes to wind noise. Now, the CX-50 with the moonroof, it's very quiet. I've never tried the roof rails, on the 5. I've never tried the roof rails on the 5. I'm not going to have that opportunity. But if you have the roof rails on the 50 and the moonroof, there's a possibility you could hear an awful lot of wind noise.
Jeez. He's got loud tires.
Wow.
Hey, there's our Charlies that got ran into.
Can you tell?
I don't know
Where's the hole?
To-go. I don't know where the to-go is. I couldn't turn my head that far back. It may be on the back side of the building, I'm not sure.
Wow. GMC Sierra with the extra loud knobby tires. How loud do you figure it was inside the vehicle itself or in? It's probably deafening.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that was just going up a driveway to Bibby Bop. If you have speakers with low frequency extension, like something with some real woofers in it, you probably heard quite a boom. That's an unbelievably wide screen camera. You can see the license plate on the bottom left. I mean, that's incredible. Right down there. That is a nice high-res backup camera with a view that's a lot better than what's in the 5.
Oh, yeah.
This is the entrance to Bibby Bop. We're leaving now, but boy, it goes kaboom when you bump over it.
Here we go. Say how much you love the 50 over the 5, and how you definitely are going to go and get yourself a 50, in the next year and a half or whatever it is, because we just leased yours in January of 24, so you've got a little less than a year and a half right now, since this is September of 24. Yep. It definitely is a cooler looking vehicle on the outside.
Yeah.
Yes, he may claim that it's hard, which, yeah, it is, but I can tolerate it. I don't care. I only do local driving, so it's not
she's
the
the
end of the
grocery getter.
world. My once a month, if I'm lucky to get on the highway and do 55 miles an hour. Woohoo!
Yeah, vast majority of her driving is in town. There. Corvette GT1. Whatever that means, I don't know. Never seen a GT1 before.
I like them up front versus my elbow.
Okay, yeah, because they used to be
anytime I have a
back
cup
there.
that's right here by my elbow and the straw's there, and I put my arm up, I end up smacking the straw. And I can also fit big water bottles up front here.
So where would you like to have your cup holders? Viewing audience, would you like them in front of the shifter or behind the shifter? Because in the 5, they're behind the shifter. In the
Right
50, they're in front of the shifter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this
little compartment here is split. So in the 5, it's a single solid piece. This one is split. So, I mean, there's other advantages. You can open up one half and close one half at a time, I suppose. Here we go, railroad tracks. Yep. I mean, the car's stable, obviously, but it's just that you really feel the jolt. But no, the car's nice and stable. It's not bouncy. Yeah. Now tell me you can't feel some of that granularity through the steering wheel, through your fingertips, because I certainly can. Plus, it's rough. You can feel it through your rear end too. My leg fat is jiggling. Now see, in the regular old 5, this is minimized. Oh, it's still there, but this is accentuated. It's like driving an exclamation mark. Well, it's a nice evening for a jolt. So this is what great handling gets you, though. On broken pavement. Yeah, those of you with speakers with woofers, you should be hearing some good bass. Nice and boomy. Go ahead, just hammer it all the way down. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That'll work. Having her pop the hood. All right, let's see. And there we go. So glad we have hood struts. Not a stupid stick, but this is pretty much the same ubiquitous, 2.5 liter with a 6-speed automatic that you get in so many Mazdas these days, except in Europe, where you can get apparently much smaller engines. I think this one has a little over 7,000 miles on it. Oh, and the windshield wipers actually squirt the fluid from the windshield wiper. So that's kind of nice. And the missus is going to demonstrate that. Yeah, you don't see any streams. I've always liked that. All right, let's see if the back wiper works okay. Where does it get its fluid from? It dribbles down from the top. Somewhat as expected. So this particular model, such as it is, has the cloth seats. I do appreciate that. It's kind of like a, like a pleather, vinyl-y type of thing, but it's definitely not the leather package at all. And they are stiff. I'll just say it that way. That's pretty much what they are. There you go. CX-50 on the mats. Door pockets are very, very deep. I mean, you like put your whole arm in there. Here's the back. The seating arrangement is what you would expect, especially if you have like a CX-5. Here's this rear center console. You don't have any temperature control here, but you do have amount of airflow, and you can, change the direction. Couple of USB outs. The passenger seat, you have a little pocket. The driver's seat, nope, nothing. And I think it's the same 60-40 split.
There's a little speaker in there. Door pocket. Same thing on the other side. Very deep, extremely deep. Rear hatch. You know, you pull these little levers here and various seats go forward. Now let's see. Oh, you know what? This one is literally a 60-40 split, but in the CX-5s we have, the center actually could go down by itself. This one is just a 60-40 split, as you can see. It's two splits. So in the 5, or at least in the 5s we have, it's 3 splits. And let's see, underneath the cover you have a spare, what is it, a 155/90/17, so that's going to be, you know, your small type of donut spare. This is extra pieces here. There we go. License plate holder. We don't use that here. And this one came with some kind of cargo netting. You can probably hook up. Let's see. You've got a hook here. I think that's where it goes. Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, you got to pull it there. We don't use that, so forgot where it was. Oh, and you have some other hooks back here as well, so you can probably do some kind of custom hookage, I would imagine. And you have 12 volts back here. All right, that's handy. And on the rear hatch, light, that's nice. I guess you can lock it, or you can just put it down without locking it, and a handhold. So I'll put it down. Last loaner we had, it was manual up down. So I really appreciate this one being powered. And let's not forget, this particular model has breakaway mirrors. I know, do that and freak somebody out. Let's see, does it go the other way? Ooh, no. Oh, yes, okay. Wasn't too sure. Yep, so you can really make them look like somebody did something to them. But no, they're just fine. Love that. And the overhead console is very similar to a CX-5. This one has all the LEDs. We have 224 CX-5s that appear to have the regular incandescence, which I personally like better, because that is a very narrow band of light, and also it's, you know, like whitish blue, that kind of thing. You got that right there. Yeah. Turns all of them on, and large sunglasses can actually fit in there, so not bad. Well, a miracle has happened. My wife's blue 2024 CX-5 is now finished. They got transmission number 2, which I assume was all new parts, not a combination of new parts and remanufactured parts. And we are heading to the dealership to pick it up. So, aren't you happy? Yay! So, wow. We're going to obviously do a walk around and drive it, but of course it's nice and warm outside, so we can't even begin to try to, you know, duplicate anything with any kind of cold weather, you know, skip, hit, miss, jerk, whatever it is. Stay in your lane, dear. So happy. We hope that the vehicle is, you know, fantastic. This has been going on for like 4 months, I think. 4 loaners total, been to the dealer twice, 2 transmissions, and hopefully it's now all over for hers. Yay.